Hello, welcome to another edition of Kape Comparison Picks. I'm Ranj, and tonight I will be giving you the Kape Comparison Picks for some more select UFC Fight Night Vegas 18 fights. We have one prelim fight and a couple from the main card. Fights would keep being canceled or fighters replaced, so it's hard to keep on schedule with the current fight card because so many people, just earlier today, that female fight between what's her name, sorry about that, Marion Renault and Macy Chiasson. That one got canceled because Marion Renault tested positive for COVID-19. So a lot of these fights keep moving around. That's why these are not in order. But I did do two videos already, and all the fights I average 3 fights per video. The two that I already did, though. First card, the fight between, what was it, man? Odie Osborne and, Dennis Bondar. Bondar withdrew, that's what Tapologist says. So now that's Odie Osborne versus Jerome Rivera. So that's all that research was for nothing. But anyway, there's still 5 fights that I already covered that are still going on. And hopefully these 3 here will also continue because, these 2 are bangers. I can't wait. They're going to be awesome. So without further ado, let's get right into this. I'm going to start out with this prelim fight. If you're new to my my channel, what I do is I take my favorite sports handicappers and I place their picks on who you think's going to win, whether it be sports teams, fighters, and I put them side by side. Then I come with my own decision and I try to explain why. Sometimes I don't have an explanation, it's just gut feeling. That's the gambler in me. And I am biased sometimes. I try to mention what I am, but you can fade or tell me these picks are free. I don't have a Patreon, so whatever. Anyway, let's get into this. Sorry for rambling and getting off topic for a minute. Okay, we've got the light heavyweight fight between Mike Slow Rodriguez and Danillo Marques. Mike Rodriguez is coming in as a moderately heavy favorite at minus 245, better than 2-1 odds. His professional record is 11-5. He's coming off a loss where he got robbed by Ed Herman. What happened was he was destroying him, and then he had this punch that it wasn't a nut shot or anything, but Ed Herman claimed it was, so he got 5 minutes of rest or whatever. He took time, he got rest, recuperated. But if the ref didn't stop and let Mike Rodriguez continue without the little break, he would have finished him. But what happened was ref stopped it. Ed Herman got his little break for the nut shot, which didn't even happen. And then the next round he came back and submitted Mike Rodriguez via Kimura. So, tough break for Mike Rodriguez there, but a loss is a loss. I guess take what you can get when you're in the octagon. You can take every you need. If you can get away with getting a little 5-minute break when you're about to get knocked out, why wouldn't you? Right? So you can't blame Ed Herman for that. But anyway, that's in the past. Let's go on to this fight. Mike Rodriguez is fighting out of Massachusetts from Joe Lozon's gym. Lozon MMA has Slippery Peter Barrett trains there, and so does Joe and his brother Dan Lozon. Danilo Marques was from Brazil, training at Vila de Luta with Damian Maia and Shogun Rua. But now he's at King's MMA out of Huntington Beach, California, with people like Beneil Dariush. But anyway, let's see what these cappers have to say. I'm going to start with Mike Slow Rodriguez. Okay. We've got MMA Prediction Guru taking the Pred Guru. I'm just going to put Pred Guru. He's saying Rodriguez by TKO first round. TKO in the first. Then we have Just Lead MMA. He's also taking Rodriguez by TKO. Now Danilo Marquez, he's 10-2. But if you look at his victories, aside from he did win his last fight against Kadis Ibragimov, and that was his UFC debut. Before that, all cans. Regional cans, except for he had a loss in LFA against some guy with 13-6 record. But everybody else in those 10 victories are all cans. He fought this guy that was 0-16 or something. He just going stomping cans. So he hasn't really been tested aside from, Kadis Ibragimov. And that was by decision. I lost money on that too. I had Kadis Ibragimov to win, but so be it. Anyway, Rodriguez, like I said, that fight against Ed Herman, and he does have some better fights, not cans, on his past fight records. So, continuing on, we've got Hype Check Levi. He did say he's gonna, he's choosing Rodriguez, but he is not betting this. He's asking everybody to stay away. He's gonna, he said personally he's gonna put a money line bet on Rodriguez to win, but he's gonna keep him out of parlays, I think he said. Then we've got Matt and Craig Allen, the Fight Night Pick brothers. Fight Night Picks, both Matt and Craig Allen are saying Rodriguez here. And finally, to wrap it all up, we've got a new guy to the show. I've been telling him for 2 weeks now I was going to put him on the show. But to be honest with you, back in UFC 257, McGregor vs. Poirier, I totally forgot about it. I was too busy, and you sent me a message after the fact that I did all of... But anyway, I got you now, bud. I got you now. He is MMA Parlay King. He's pretty awesome, man. AKA the Fighting Guru. Or, is that, what is it? Yeah. AKA, Fighting Guru. He does have Patreon. He claims to have not been under 50% ever on a fight card. And he's had a lot of 100% accuracy fight cards. I mean, who's the one to... He said, and he even brings up dates and mentions... last card, he said he went 8-2. I went 7-4 last card, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Poirier. Yep, that was 7-4. He claims he went 8-2, I think he said, or maybe 9-2. I can't really remember, but Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's good. He's a former fighter, so he claims he has knowledge beyond that of the average handicapper. I'm kind of buying into it. I think he might be onto something because he does have fight experience. He used to spend every day, 12 hours a day, every day in the Windy City boxing gym. He didn't mention any, but he did say there's been some good name fighters coming out of there, and he used to open and close that gym 6 days a week, and was still in on there on the 7th day on Sunday when they were closed on the Sabbath, or if I'm just. But anyway, he puts, and I believe it, man. He looks the part. He seems like he goes all in on everything he does. He's got that confident personality. He doesn't do like a full card video. He does like best parlay. He'll do a parlay video. He'll do specific breakdown videos of just certain fights. He's kind of sporadic and a little bit all over the place. And he did a video, which the link for. Okay, this fight and that fight are in the same video. This was in a different video. And he has time markers in there that mean nothing. Because, really, Parlay King, it said the time marker for Ferreira Dariush, you hit that, and he's still rambling. And it says 49 minutes into his hour and 30-minute. Roughly, I think it was an hour and maybe hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes, something like that. He had an hour and 30-minute video. He said at the 49th minute is when he starts talking about Ferreira Dariush. That is so incorrect. And then he says at like the 50-something minute, like just shortly after that, 50-something minute, he covers the Rodriguez-Marquez fight. That is not correct. I had to, yeah. Oh man, fix your time markers, because I had to listen to your accolades of how good you predict, which is fine. You're promoting your thing, which is fine. It's good, and you're backing it all up. He does pick underdogs very well. He's putting out guarantees out there, folks, that there's no way he can come through with them. He's guaranteed accurate prediction. Like best parlays that guarantee he's putting his name on the line that they're going to pay him out. I don't know. I like him though. I like him. He's full in with everything. Definitely check him out. But he caps it off, making this a full capper consensus. Bum, bum, bum. A full capper consensus is when everybody takes the same side or same team. And in this case, all the cappers that I put on this show, except for one, I'm going to put him on these fights, but he didn't make a pick for this fight because I'll explain that in a minute. But anyway, it's when a full capper consensus when everybody picks the same side. And here, everybody's taking Mike Slow Rodriguez to get it done against Danillo Marques, who a lot of people say shouldn't even be in the UFC. And nobody knows how he got there. I say it was somehow through King's MMA, because that's his camp, and they have a lot of good fighters coming out of there. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not going with the Can Crusher, Danillo Marques. I am taking Mike Slow Rodriguez. I took him in the Ed Herman fight. I did lose money. I think he got robbed, but so be it. It's in the past. Let's get some redemption back, and let's take out Marques within distance. Inside the distance for that. Yep. Yeah, that's good. That's moving on. Next we have, here we go. These are the bangers. These two could be main and co-main event of their own fight night card. But so be it. These they're on the main card here. I like it. Can't complain. We're gonna go with Carlos Diego Ferreira. This is a rematch, taking on Beneil Dariush. Baba Ganoush Dariush. But okay, Ferreira. This is, like I did say, it is a rematch from. They fought back in October 2014, where Beneil Dariush won by decision. That was a different fighter, though. It's not the same Diego Ferreira. Diego Ferreira is the favorite here, -120. Comes in with a record of 17 and only 2 losses. One of those, obviously, to Beneil Dariush. The other one was to Dustin Poirier, I do believe. He's coming off a win against Anthony Pettis via submission, rear naked choke. He is in a 6-fight win streak. Fighting, he is a Brazilian fighting out of Fortis MMA in Dallas, Texas. Man, good fighter in Carlos Diego Ferreira. His opponent, Beneil Dariush, he is Iranian born, but he's representing Assyria, which Assyria is like area of the world. It's kind of like southeast Turkey and northern Iraq. That area, kind of like the Mesopotamian fertile river valley, the cradle of civilization, a lot of that, to the Middle East, over there by Iraq, Iran, all that stuff. Assyria. So anyway, that's his flag he's representing. But he is born Iranian, and he is fighting out of, like I mentioned down here, he's fighting out of the same gym as Danillo Marques, King's MMA in Huntington Beach, California. He's coming off a win against Scott Holtzman via TKO spinning back fist. Okay, let's see who's taking Benny and how, if they do say that. Okay. Benny is also coming off his own little. He's on a 5-fight win streak too. This is a very good matchup. Thank you, Sean Shelby, for doing this. This is awesome. I think this should be pretty much a pick'em. I don't know how. You got they're evenly. Well, anyway, let's see what these cappers have to say. Right now, Ferreira, according to BetOnline, he's the favorite, -120. Dariush, even money, +100. Over/under set at 2.5 rounds. If you think it's going over, it's -135, paying a little juice. Think it's going under, you get a little bit better payout. Let's see what these garbage marker. I'll throw that right in the garbage too. See what these cappers have to say. I'm gonna start with Beneil Dariush. We've got the new guy, MMA Parlay King. He was adamant on this. It is one of his. It's a parlay piece for sure. He's put it in a parlay, I think, with Mike Slow Rodriguez and Volkov, maybe in the main event. Another garbage marker. I gotta start separating them. Anyway, yeah, he's on board with Benny. Check him out, man. It's hard to you can't, because the time markers kind of upset me, but because I had to sit through a lot of and he's repetitive. He does say things over and over, but he is full of information, lock full. A lot of these cappers, because there's a gap between fights, there was like a 2-week gap. They just took time. This guy, I think he was diving deep into Tapology and fight research, diving deep, putting many hours of research in. I could tell with this guy, MMA Parlay King, aka the Fighting Guru. Yeah. Then we have Hype Check, Levi. He's on board with Beneil Dariush. Fight Night Picks, Matt and Craig, giving Dariush the slight edge, both of them. Prediction Guru, MMA Prediction Guru is saying Dariush by decision. Oh, by the way, Parlay King did say inside the distance. For that, within distance. Barely, I just fit it in there. It's all sloppy now, but so be it. Then this guy, the guy I wanted to put, see what, MMA gambling expert, all caps, no spaces. I wanted to use him because he does breakdowns pretty much by request, but he did this one, was requested, and he did this one, but he did not do this one. I wanted to use him yesterday because he used 2 of the 3 fights I did yesterday. So in his chat yesterday when I was at work, not his chat, his comments, I asked him to cover Meatball Molly McCann versus that Lara Procopio. Which, thank you, he did it, but it was a day late, so I couldn't, redo the show just because. So I should have asked him to do this fight instead, but it doesn't matter. I'm still using him. I'm going to use him here for this fight and for the co and main events. MMA gambling expert. I'm just going to write gambling X. Now that should be a full capper consensus because we got 5 cappers taking the one side. However, we do have one contrarian capper who is taking, I don't blame him either, he's taking Carlos Diego Ferreira, and that is Just Bleed MMA. Mad respect for Just Bleed MMA. I watch his breakdowns every fight card he does. I am a big fan. You should get some merch, Just Bleed. You should get some merch. I would probably wear a Just Bleed MMA t-shirt. Anyway, Just Bleed is going out as a contrarian in this, but he's taking the favorite. So it's not like a real contrarian pick because Diego Ferreira is favored here, so you expected to win. And I think a lot of these guys are only taking Dariush because he's at plus money, barely. But because this is pretty much a very even match. Good work, Sean Shelby. But yeah, I have to. All the 5 out of 6 cappers are taking Dariush, and he's the underdog here. So. You know me, I'm a plus money junkie when it's like that, when it's this close. So I'm taking Dariush. I think it's going to happen via decision. I'm not. I'm going to do this in a parlay. And that's it. Only this parlay because like I've said, because I'm transparent and authentic, I don't put it on the board unless I'm going to actually play it. So I have to. I'm forcing my own hand. I'm going to put him in a parlay with Rodriguez and whoever I pick here. But otherwise, I would stay away from that because it can go either way. I would, like Fight Night Pick says, poppin' popcorn. They call soda pop in Canada. Anyway, as Clint would say, Fireball and popcorn. It's always popcorn. Oh, a little bit of milk and chips or something. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, this is going to be a great fight. I'm going to enjoy it. I am going to pick Dariush to win and put him in the parlay. Finally, to cap off this show, we've got another banger at flyweight. We've got Alexandre Pantoja, the cannibal, coming in with a record of 22-5. He's the favorite here against Manel Kape or Kape. I've heard it's called Kape or Kape. He is representing Portugal and Angola. I learned from the Fight Night Pick boys. Everybody else just says Portugal because that's what Tapology says. But the Matt and Craig Allen seem to get information somewhere also, another source besides Tapology. I don't know what it is, but they seem to get stuff that Tapology doesn't even know, like camps and stuff. Like Tapology had is it this one? Yeah, this one, they have Manel Kape fighting out of American Kickboxing Academy in Thailand, aka in Thailand, but now he is fighting out of it, aka in the United States. But they've also other things. Who was it? Matter of fact, this one. Yeah, they have Manel Kape. It just says versus team or something, I think, where it says their gym. Yeah, because it says Pantoja, American top team. That's where, by the way, that's where he's fighting out of. He's a Brazilian. They got a bunch of Brazilians fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, American top team. Manuel Kape, it just says versus team. What? But anyway, the fight, or no, actually it was James Lynch a day before last, I think. He's the one that said American Kickboxing Academy, not the one in Thailand, but the one in the United States. And then it was verified again by the Fight Night Pick boys. But I could be wrong. But one of these fights has the gym listed as versus team. And I want to say it's this one, but whatever. Doesn't matter. He's fighting on American Kickboxing Academy in the United States for Starboy. That's another thing. Some places have his nickname listed as Proteger, which I think Portuguese translates to protege. But other places have him listed as Starboy. So I don't know if maybe protege translates to star. I don't know. Whatever. Let's get on with the fight. Let's get on with the picks. I'm sorry. Okay. Taking Alexandre Pantoja. We've got, speaking of the Fight Night Pick boys, let's start with them. We've got Fight Night Picks. Both of them, I like when they don't agree, when Matt and Craig choose different sides. But here, this whole video, they all pick the same side, and they're both taking Pantoja. Then we've got Just Bleed MMA. He's taking Manel Kape. Manel Kape is from the Ryzen Fight Promotions, which is out of Japan. He was a Ryzen champ. He beat Kei Asakura via KO and punches to get that championship. And now this is his UFC debut, but I guess it's been a long time coming. He's even, Matt and Craig said he even weighed in as a fill-in for a backup fight. What else? Oh, Manel Kape in Ryzen, that fight promotion out of Japan. They fight in a ring, and they wear socks with shoes, which, I mean, it might, I don't know, might make a difference. I don't think it's going to. I transitioned from wrestling to BJJ and no-gi, and that's barefoot. And that was pretty easy transition. So, but I don't know. Maybe it's weird. I guess they did say they did Fabricio. No, who they did mention somebody that went from Pride ring fighting, came over to UFC and didn't do as well because he was used to ring, not octagon, or I forgot who they used as an example. But anyway, links in the description. Check them out yourself. Next we have MMA gambling expert, my buddy there. He's gamble expert. I have to shorten his name somehow so I don't have to write the whole thing out like that. Then we have the MMA prediction guru. Pred Guru is taking Kape by KO TKO round 1. I guess that's what the hype is. He's a knockout guy. TKO first round. And he did over in Japan though. They have a different, like MMA gambling expert mentioned. Here's the thing with Japan. They have their grapplers are all Japanese. So unlike the UFC where you're exposed to Dagestani wrestling and grappling, Brazilian from Brazil jiu-jitsu. And you have the Chinese, Asian, like South Korean, Japanese. You got the whole Asian, like, jiu-jitsu style. I guess if you look back in the sport of jiu-jitsu, it's the origins come from Japan. And then the old Gracie there, I forgot his name, he brought it to Brazil. And then it became Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is a takeoff from Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. Some people say it's an improvement upon Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. It doesn't really make it different. I mean, just submit the guy. But anyway, gambling expert did that. You have to take that into consideration. He hasn't, Manel Kape or Kape, he's only been exposed to that fight promotion. So that's why he's taken Pantoja, who's had experience fighting all different types with his 22-5 record. In the UFC, he's had 17 fights in the UFC alone. Kape, this is his debut. That's why gambling expert did give Pantoja the edge there. Also taken Pantoja is Hype Check Levi. He likes the Cannibal. I hate that name, but he likes the Cannibal to win. And finally, so does my new buddy, the MMA Parlay King. I really think I am gonna join. Like, I might do his lowest tier of his Patreon just so I can, because man, he has some claims that are astonishing. He claims to be such the good handicapper. He claims to have insight. He says after Sean Shelby, it goes to the sharps. Like when it comes to predicting fights, like who's gonna, the matchmaker, Sean Shelby. He's kind of sets him up already knowing the outcome. Of course, it's fighting, so you can't. There's no sure thing guarantee. But then after Sean Shelby, it goes to the sharp handicappers like the bookies, the bookmakers, the ones that are making the odds. Those are the next in line. And then it goes down to the regular handicapping crowd, like, the regular, all these guys. with exception from MMA Parlay King, because he said he's placed between Sean Shelby, that spot between Sean Shelby and the bookies. That's where his knowledge is. He's got knowledge before the bookies. Right after Sean Shelby's he's the matchmaker for the UFC. He makes the matches. Next, MMA Parlay King knows the outcomes. Then the bookies. Then the rest of the cappers. Then the public. So that's awesome. I watched that whole, links in the description, guys. This is, like I said, this is on a different video than these two. These two are in a parlay video, and that one was the hour and something. Oh, it's great. He forgot how to say Putin, Vladimir Putin, the leader of Russia. So he asked his girlfriend or someone there. He said, "Word girl, how do you say his last name?" And she's got like an accent. I don't know where she's from. She doesn't come on camera, but you hear her say, she goes, Putin. He was like, Putin? Like Bill Cosby, Putin? She goes, no, Putin. Putin. Oh, it's awesome. Awesome. I'm a fan. I am a fan of the MMA Parlay King. I think, and he gave me an invite. He said, you can come on my show. I think I'm going to take him up on that one of these days. Yeah, because I like him. Anyway, that's everybody. So Pantoja gets outpicked by the cappers. More cappers are picking Pantoja. They got the majority. Pantoja got the majority of the capper picks over Manel, Kape, or Kape, Cap. I'm gonna have to hear Bruce Buffer say it. That's Manel, Kape, or whatever. Anyway, I'm going with Pantoja here simply because the experience. Kape might have been the thing over in Ryzen, over in Japan, but welcome to the UFC, buddy. I mean, I don't know. Who shut my mouth with that welcome to the UFC? That guy from Bellator, Michael Chandler. Yeah, I said the same thing when he beat up the hooker there in that last fight. I was like, welcome to he's gonna get well, maybe Kape's gonna do the same. Maybe he's gonna surprise me and shut my mouth. But I think I got Pantoja here. I mean, he should come out the victor. I think it's gonna be by decision. So, to recap, time check. I've got Mike Slow Rodriguez finishing Danillo Marquez within distance. Then I have Beneil, Baba Ganoush Dariush winning over a hard-fought battle against Carlos Diego. For Ferreira, the R's are silent in Portuguese. Excuse me, I had a little antacid. Oh, I should go take a Tums. I got Beneil Dariush beating Ferreira by decision. That's my least confident pick of these three. And finally, this is my most confident pick of the three fights here. But then I also have, Alexandre Pantoja beating Manel Kape by decision. That's also going to be a good fight. I'm just going to put a little action on here. Nothing too crazy because I want to sit back and enjoy these fights. And there you have it. So, gather the info. Place the bets. And cash those tickets. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed, definitely do that. Make sure you check out all these cappers in all my shows. The links are in the description where I've got this information from. Check them out. Subscribe to them. They wouldn't make it on my show if I didn't think that I knew what they were talking about. That's plain and simple. If I don't like them as a capper or as a person, I'm not going to promote them or put their link in my description. Why would I do that? So yeah, everybody on that I promote on my show, their name's coming on my board. They deserve a look and a subscribe. And also, so do I. And hit the bell. Feel free to comment. Load that comment box up. It might take me a little while to read them, but I go through and I check them all out. I don't reply to all of them because I just don't, sometimes I don't know what to say. I'm just like, yep, you're right. But I do appreciate all the comments. So keep them coming. Thanks for watching. Good luck on these bets, and I will see you next episode.